Have you ever noticed how even the most picture-perfect love stories can take unexpected turns? Do you think fame makes love easier or harder to hold on to? Hollywood has long been a stage for unforgettable pairings, but few ever glowed quite like Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow. Together, they seemed like a match crafted straight from a dream, beautiful, talented, and perfectly in sync. For a while, it looked as though their story was destined for a fairy tale ending. Yet, as often happens, real life had other plans. Their romance had all the ingredients of a classic Hollywood love story: a fateful meeting on set, matching styles, adoring families, heartfelt award show mentions, and finally, a heartbreak that nearly derailed Gwyneth's path to her Oscar-winning success. And just when it seemed time had quieted the story of these famous exes, a new biography reignited the memories. The author, Amy Odell, known for her insightful looks into the lives of celebrities, recently turned her attention to Gwyneth Paltrow. What she uncovered was far from the glossy perfection of Hollywood press tours. It was real, human, and full of lessons. Brad and Gwyneth's story began on the set of the dark and thrilling crime film Seven in 1994. On screen, their characters faced tragedy. Off-screen, chemistry sparked almost immediately. Gwyneth, then just 22, was still carving out her place in Hollywood. Brad, at 31, had already become one of the industry's most recognizable stars. In one early interview, Gwyneth confessed she didn't even realize Brad was flirting with her at first. She simply thought he was being kind. Once love took root, though, they became inseparable. They weren't just a couple, they were the couple. Fans adored them, photographers followed their every move, and the tabloids couldn't look away. If there's one image that captures the intensity of Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow's love, it would be from the 1997 premiere of The Devil's Own. The two didn't just arrive as a couple, they arrived looking like mirror images of one another. Same stylist, same tousled blonde haircut, same radiant glow that only two people completely swept up in love can carry. It wasn't a coincidence either. Gwyneth would later admit that they chose to match their hairstyles, wanting to share even the smallest details of life, down to their shampoo. Then came what fans called the proposal heard around Hollywood. After 2 years of a relationship that seemed almost cinematic, Brad decided to take the next step. Before proposing in 1997, he sought permission from Gwyneth's father, the respected filmmaker Bruce Paltrow. Bruce's answer was an enthusiastic yes. To the Paltrow family, Brad wasn't just a star, he was family. When Brad later accepted a Golden Globe for 12 Monkeys, he thanked "the love of my life, my angel, Gwyneth Paltrow," sending hearts fluttering around the world. What do you think makes a public declaration of love feel so powerful? Do grand gestures strengthen relationships, or do they sometimes create pressure to live up to them? Wedding bells seemed inevitable. But as the story often goes in Hollywood and in life, not everything perfect on the outside reflects what's happening within. Behind the glamour, Gwyneth was wrestling with uncertainty. She later revealed that although the world saw a fairy tale romance, she wasn't ready for marriage. "I was just a kid," she confessed. "I wasn't ready, and he was too good for me." Brad, nearing his 30s, was ready to settle down. Gwyneth was still discovering who she was. Can love truly thrive when two people are at different stages of life? Is timing sometimes the real reason behind heartbreak? By her own account, Gwyneth admitted that she sabotaged the relationship. "I was the architect of my own misery," she later said. It was an unusually honest confession in a town where most breakups are brushed off as creative differences. She carried the guilt quietly, even as rumors began to swirl. While filming Emma, whispers suggested she'd developed a soft spot for her charming co-star Hugh Grant, though nothing was ever confirmed. The speculation only added more layers to an already bittersweet story of love, fame, and growing up under a spotlight. And really, who could blame her? Hugh Grant's effortless charm, quick wit, and trademark tousled hair made him the quintessential British heartthrob of the 1990s. Rumors of chemistry between Gwyneth and her Emma co-star began to swirl, and whispers even hinted at sparks with Sliding Doors actor John Hannah. Though nothing was ever confirmed, still, something had shifted. The once blissful engagement now felt like a cage, rather than a dream, and slowly, the magic began to fade from the love story everyone thought would last forever. After the breakup, life took a heavy toll on Gwyneth. She described herself as unable to eat, sleep, or even focus on her scripts. The pain ran deep enough that she nearly turned down Shakespeare in Love, the very film that would later bring her an Academy Award. "My heart broke," she once shared. "Something in me changed forever." Even her father, Bruce Paltrow, was heartbroken by the split. He had grown so close to Brad that their breakup felt like losing a family member. It was heartbreak on multiple fronts: personal, familial, and emotional. Meanwhile, Brad's story continued on a different path. While Gwyneth worked through her grief, he crossed paths with Jennifer Aniston, and soon their romance became a cultural phenomenon. Together, they embodied the ideal of Hollywood perfection: charming, graceful, and endlessly photographed. Yet even that golden couple couldn't escape fate. Their marriage eventually ended, proving once again that fame doesn't protect anyone from the fragility of love. Gwyneth, meanwhile, found new beginnings with Ben Affleck, another rising star, before eventually marrying musician Chris Martin of Coldplay. Their union brought children, creative partnership, and ultimately, a graceful ending defined by the now famous phrase, conscious uncoupling. But even after all the tears, awards, and transformations, the story wasn't quite over. The press, ever hungry for nostalgia and what-ifs, kept revisiting the tale of Brad and Gwyneth. Long after their romance had ended, they remained intertwined in the collective imagination of Hollywood fans, as though their connection had become a timeless part of pop culture itself. In Amy Odell's recent biography, whispers surfaced about how Gwyneth Paltrow felt when Brad Pitt married Jennifer Aniston in 2000. According to one account, she wasn't exactly celebrating the news. A source claimed that during a dinner with Aaron Lauder of the Estee Lauder family, Gwyneth made a less than kind remark about her ex. Something playful but not particularly flattering. Whether the story is true remains uncertain, but given Gwyneth's reputation for unfiltered honesty and sharp humor, it's not hard to imagine her letting a candid comment slip among friends. And honestly, who among us hasn't said something a little too honest about an ex behind closed doors? Time, however, has a way of softening sharp edges. Years later, Brad and Gwyneth managed to reconnect, not in romance, but in friendship. In a 2022 interview, they laughed about their breakup, speaking warmly about each other and expressing genuine respect. Gwyneth called Brad a great guy, and it was clear that whatever pain had once existed had transformed into mutual fondness. She's now happily married to TV producer Brad Falchuk, proving perhaps that she does have a type after all. Do you think true closure means forgiveness, or simply finding peace in how things turned out? Can love really evolve into friendship after heartbreak? In the grand tapestry of Hollywood romances, theirs had it all: style, passion, heartbreak, and transformation. Gwyneth grew into herself. Brad found new paths and new stories. And the rest of us, we're still watching Seven, scrolling through those vintage red carpet photos and wondering what might have been. Perhaps that's the magic of stories like theirs. They remind us that even fleeting love can leave a lasting mark.